Well, it's about almost 4 o'clock in the morning here in Seattle. I've been training just about a month, I think.
Not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, no, a month is just not enough, and that's a fact. A month is just not enough. And the initial goal is 200 miles plus, around 209, 207 miles in one day on my bicycle. I did this ride in one day in my 20s, and I'm now 50, and so
totally.
Yeah. So, but if not, I'm going to do 150, stay overnight, and do the next 50. So we bought a tandem, did some training. Susan's not feeling well, but she is deciding not go and just be my support. I'm gonna give this a try. We'll see how we do. I'm pretty sure I can get to 150, but if my time's pretty good, we're gonna be about 200 in one day. I need to get to about the 150 mark around 3 or 4, no later. If it's past that time, I'm not gonna be able to do it because it's another 50 miles, and it's a pretty big. After you get to the Oregon side, it's there's about a 12-mile uphill. They gradually call it. All it's flat, and so it's going to be a little difficult, but it is starting to sprinkle a little bit. But it is supposed to be about 80 today.
That's for good luck.
Yeah, you're right. In Seattle, it does rain all the time, and so there's a little bit of sprinkling right here this morning. But it is supposed to be 80, and then on Sunday, if it does end up being a 2-day, it's supposed to be like 77. So it should be fairly good weather. So we'll see how we do and a lot of drafting today. So you might see a lot of butt in front of me and he wheeled in front of me as I record this video.
Which, training on tandem, I know that's totally normal.
Yeah, my view will be different. For hers is the same the whole time on the tandem bar training. So anyway, I really need Susan a lot. She's going to be doing stopping off different places for me, do some great help for this video and for me so I can finish this thing. In about a half an hour. You can see it's 4:30 in the morning almost. Headed up. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. To be honest with you, not sure. Didn't train like I should have. This thing. I've always been a big fan of adversity. I don't know what I put myself through sometimes. My life partner and my wife, she's going to be a great support. I'm going to need the support. I think it'd be better that way than if one of us, that needs help, the other can be there for the other person. So let's do this. We're going to do this. Well, here we're in the parking lot at Husky Stadium. It looks like we're starting at. It's parking lot E18, and actually if you map it on maps, it comes right up. It's E18, and you can kind of see it off in the distance there. That is Husky Stadium. You can see the lineup of cars getting in here. There's a lineup. There's the huge cars coming in. Like I said, it's about 10,000 waters all from all over. It is Seattle to Portland, but people come from Idaho, Nevada, California, come all from this ride, so it's pretty big.
And pay a lot of money to kill themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing. They pay a lot of money to hurt herself. So it's 150. I'm riding on a Klein. It's an older bike. Klein was one of the first people who ever started these oversized tubes here. Before Cannondale did it and other people, he was one of the first people to start that. And now Klein is owned by Trek, who's also on the Tour de France. Good thing about Klein bikes is actually, when they first got started, they were made right here in Washington, in Chehalis. And there's a road called Klein Road. It's a halfway point, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, so it's an older bike. It should work.
It's been working for you, like
it's been working for me. I don't need to buy a $10,000, $15,000 bike.
That's a lot of flights.
It's a lot of flights. It's a very good point, honey. So stay tuned. Cuba, Cancun coming up, and along with Costa Rica, and so and Panama. Yes. So that's but first thing, if I don't break my leg or fall over, hit by a car,
I'll still take you.
I'll be wheeling me through Panama in a wheelchair. So
I'll wheel you around.
That's right. So if nothing happens, or I don't smash into the bike in front of me, or anyway, so we'll see how we do on this thing.
Such confidence.
Yes, yeah.
The Cascade Bicycle Club, founded by brothers Rick and Mike Quam, started the Seattle to Portland, or STP, in 1979. The STP is 206 hilly miles, and while the majority of participants complete it in 2 days, some riders push themselves to complete it in 1 day. The STP has changed in small ways throughout the years. Originally, it was a race in June. The following year, Mount St. Helens erupted, canceling the ride. In 1981, the race became a recreational ride. They created a new event that year, Ride from Seattle to Vancouver to Party, or the RSVP. Both rides are still going on strong, and they have plenty of others as well. In 1989, there were a whopping 10,000 riders. It is now capped at 8,000 entrants. In 2020 and 21, the ride became a virtual ride due to the pandemic.
I think I pulled something. But I'm doing it. So I think I'm right around the 45-mile range. Is that right?
Further.
What?
You're 54. Some of the more experienced riders will draft, riding close behind other riders to reduce wind resistance and reduce their pedaling energy by up to 30%. Each rider, including both on a tandem, has to pay a $170 entry fee. When the ride was made virtual, the fees already collected were considered donations. The ride has a huge amount of support. Every 20 miles or so, there is a water stop or a food and water stop. There are cars that ride the route on the lookout for bikers that need a ride. Goldwing Touring Association rider on motorcycles who can help fix a tire, give light first aid, and even divert traffic if necessary. Some of the stops have volunteers from bike shops to help make more major repairs on a bicycle. There are medical volunteers to help with medical emergencies. It can be extremely dangerous to share the road with cars, so you need to remember to obey the rules of the road. Always wear a helmet, and keep an eye out for cars that might not have their eye out for you. While you may have the right of way, you probably don't have the weight behind you to back it up. The ride has been completed on tandems, unicycles, inline skates, and even skateboards and a penny farthing. Due to the rainy nature of the Pacific Northwest weather, it was eventually moved to the third Saturday in July. The route changes slightly as needed too. There are two men that rode in every STP from its inception until their deaths in 2010 and 2015. And currently there are 3 people in the STP Hall of Fame that have ridden 37 times. Amazing. It's really important on a long ride like this to remember to keep yourself hydrated so you don't get over fatigued and cramp up. And water isn't going to cut it. You're going to need electrolytes like potassium and sodium and magnesium.
Well, a little tired, but I'm still hanging in there. So, about 80 miles in right now. It's all hill. Old man like me is tired. Hanging in there, though.
The halfway point, where many of the riders stay for the night. There's food, live music, a beer garden, and even a morning pancake feed for the riders. There's so much good food provided that some bikers have actually gained weight on the ride.
Well, that's 100. I'm gonna keep on going. Students meet me at 109, and I'm gonna keep on going. I'm not gonna stop. We're just gonna get this thing done. I'm gonna kick fucking ass, so we're going.
Built in 1929, the Lewis-McChord Bridge spans the Columbia River and connects Longview, Washington to Rainier, Oregon. It's over 2,700 feet long and 340 feet above the river, which gave it the distinction of being the tallest and longest cantilever bridge in the U.S. when built. Well, made it to Oregon. About 50 more miles. Can't believe I made it this far. Covered in dirt, sweat, giving my all. Now I have a tailwind. I can't believe it. The other thing about Oregon, what's great about Oregon, by the way, is it's tax-free. When you buy something, there's no sales tax. Anyway, so I made it to Rainier. They're not confused with the Rainier beer, but actually Rainier the mountain. But people always can think it's Rainier from Rainier beer, which is kind of cool. Anyway, made it to Rainier, and now we got about 50 miles and a couple more stops. So I'm guessing I'll make it around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. And pretty stoked thus far. Still no cramps.
Well, as you can tell, the riders are really thinned out, and it's starting to get dark, and so I gotta be riding in the dark. I got about 27 miles or 30 miles to go, and I'm pretty gassed. I have light cramping. I guess I'll be riding in the dark, and that's just how it's going to be. But getting there slowly but surely. I started off averaging like 20 miles an hour, about 70 miles in, get down to 16 miles an hour on average, and now it's really bad. It's bad now, but some of the hills I was going like 2-3 miles an hour, barely pedaling just to get up them. But I'm gonna finish this sucker. Perseverance, fighting through adversity, and never quitting. That's what it takes, and a good mindset. Well, you saw it, last stop for the finish. 18 more miles. We've gone 189 miles already today. Finish line closes at 9, but they're coming all night. You're a one-dayer. And right now it's 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna come in after 9, around dark. My legs are just dirty. I need a shower. I'm not sure if I'll ever do this again. We'll see.
The St. John's Bridge is one of Portland, Oregon's most iconic bridges. It was built in 1931 and spans the Willamette River. The bridge is 2,067 feet long, and with a height of 400 feet, it's the tallest bridge in Portland. In 1980, under the urban side, the beautiful Cathedral Park was opened. On some years, the STP has ended here.
Out like nobody's business. I don't even know if I'm hungry. Really? Oh, I'm famished. I ate so much at that last rest stop. I'm not shitting though. I drink lots of beer. I gotta brush my teeth, man. Oh my god. All those fucking
doing it. We're downtown Portland, right ahead, straight ahead. We got this. Yeah! Woo! Well, we started when it was dark. We finished when it was dark. See, it's a beautiful city. Portland here. We're doing it. Yes! There's the finish line! Yeah! 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 Whoa! Yes! Oh my God! Wow! Yeah! Oh! Yes! Well, I just completed 206 miles. I tell you, from Seattle to Portland, there is a lot of hills. There is a lot of hills. Like I said, I did this when I was 27. And one day I said I would never do it again. And I did it in 12 hours, and there was lots of daylight. I started in the dark, finished in the dark. My friend West here. My friend West there, that's the end of this thing. Of course, he's been training like a madman. He does like 4,000 miles a year. And so we were supposed to do it in 2 days, and he says we're doing it in 1. I'm glad he pushed me into it, because he's an amazing dude. I need a beer bad.
Let's go.
Anyway, if you get a chance, make sure you subscribe to Wildly Wanderlust and like and subscribe. Anyway, if you ever get a chance to come to Seattle and you come to Portland or you're up, come make sure you do this.